swimmers, but if they can walk in whatever body of water that they are in, they'll walk. Alright, well as we come around this curve, I'd just like to remind everyone once again to please stay seated. We're about to go over a bridge in just a few moments, which we have nicknamed because of the animals that like to hang out underneath it. You don't want to get too friendly with these animals, folks. They tend to look pretty hungry most of the time, and I promise I'd bring everyone back this time, so probably should stay seated. Because down there are some Nile crocodile. Now those crocodiles can get about 20 feet in length.
Wow.
You may see some with their jaws open. They're not smiling at you. It's because they are cold-blooded animals, and that is how they stay cool during hot temperatures. Also, those jaws exert 2,000 pounds of pressure. That is quite a bite. But if it's scarier than that, they run up to about 10 miles per hour on land and climb. So let's get you all out of here. Alright, we're going to make our way towards a completely different ecosystem, the savannas. Speaking of different, we're about to pass by this pretty different looking tree here on the right hand side. Looks almost upside down, like its roots are going straight up in the air. Well, that is called the baobab tree. And it goes leafless like that about 9 months out of the year to help retain water in its large trunk during droughts. There's some more out there on the reserve, so don't worry if you didn't get a great picture. But this is my absolute favorite view of the entire reserve, so have those cameras ready. These are the Serengeti grasslands. These grasslands stretch hundreds of miles across Africa and act as a superhighway to millions of migrating animals each year, like the zebra or the wildebeest. It is also home to some of the more famous animals here on the reserve, like the giraffes, lions, and elephants. This is a perfect example of the wild Africa we are trying to preserve today.
It's a giraffe. It's a giraffe.
Ooh, I see our first giraffe spotting. Now, believe it or not, where that truck is way closer to that giraffe. So we're going to swing around to where that truck is. Get a nice close view of it. Now, there are actually two types of giraffe here on the reserve. That type is called a Maasai giraffe. It has a more jagged pattern on its coat. The other type of giraffe is called a reticulated giraffe. It has a more net-like pattern, and I'll point it out if we see one. Oh, there's giraffes everywhere. Giraffes can get about 20 feet tall, and a baby giraffe's born at about 6 feet.
It's like skyscraper. It is like skyscraper. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm also seeing some sable antelope coming up here on the left-hand side, along with some more Maasai giraffe. Sable are one of the more aggressive antelope in Africa. Even lions like to avoid them because they'll use those long horns to fight off their predators. Sable are on the left. Here's a great big tall Maasai giraffe on the right. We'll pause right here so everyone can get a nice view. Looks like there's a baby Maasai eating out of that little tiny tree trunk thing on the left.
Yeah, I got one this time.
Now, a pretty cool thing about this landscape is that it is completely maintained by the animals that live here. No one comes through to mow the grass or trim the trees. It is all done by the animals. In a balanced system, everyone has enough food. That's pretty cool. They always want to reach for the tallest leaf, I swear. These reddish brown mounds everywhere, well, those are termite mounds. Termites build them to live in them, but elephants love to use tall ones as a scratching post. Then when an elephant's done, he'll knock him over, and larger antelope will climb on top of them to get a better viewpoint of their surroundings. They're made up of dirt and termite saliva hardened by the sun.
Guys, when you see an elephant, it's gonna be, oh, it's a giraffe.
Yeah, obviously you have to do that. This place is
Ooh, I
really
do
cool.
see a reticulated giraffe coming up, so that's pretty cool. You can really compare the two. They're not, too bad they're not closer than that, but you can at least compare the two. So this one on the left-hand side walking towards us, that's a Maasai giraffe. Like I said, more jagged pattern. Coming up on the right-hand side of the opening is going to be a reticulated giraffe, a more net-like pattern on its coat. You're going to notice that the spots are lighter in color. You can see more white underneath the spots than with the Maasai giraffe. I also see some white-bearded wildebeest coming up here on the right-hand side. They're that grayish white animal. They get their name from the Afrikaans word meaning wild beast. They're also nicknamed Neus because of the noise that they make. Looks like that reticulated giraffe is heading actually towards elephant country. Maybe we'll catch up with it a little bit later.
Surprise, surprise, Django. I'm not taking a picture, I'm taking a video. So your face was just on the screen, just looking stupid for a while.
It's okay.
It's all good.
Well, I think we've had some pretty awesome luck so far. So let's hope our luck continues as we make our way towar's elephant country. Does anyone want to see some elephants?
Yes.
Alright.
I love
One
elephants.
last animal over here, though. If you look at this opening here coming up on the right, you're looking at island of trees. It's the best way I can describe it. You might see those big long horns. Those are on Ankole cattle, and they are the only domesticated animals here on the reserve. Those horns can get about 6 feet in length, but as heavy as they look, they are honeycomb shaped, which means that the blood goes through the horns and back into the body to cool off. So those horns aren't as heavy as they look. Well, we're going to make our way into elephant